What's going on, guys? My name is Toso, and I am from the further.
What's going on, guys? My name is Toso. Today I'm here to actually review a movie that came out quite some time ago. Quite some time being like, what, 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm here to finally talk about Insidious, the Red Door. Now, some context. For one, the Gojo video is still in the works. Like I said, I made a community post talking about how I wanted to kind of take my time with that one specifically because I wanted to make some specific improvements to that series. I think it could be through and through a whole lot better, and I'm just learning some practices on the side, so bear with me, please. It's coming out real soon. I'm sorry, I promise. So the way I generally feel about the film, it's not bad, right? Okay, it's not the worst thing I've seen. Trust me, it's not the worst horror movie I've seen. The worst horror movie I've seen in like the past 10 years, I'd say, is Halloween Ends. That's the worst horror movie without a doubt. But so that's like my standard of like low. So this in comparison to that, this is fine. this is fine. The movie wasn't bad at all. I think Patrick Wilson, he was the one who directed this film, which, props to him for taking that debut and everything like that. I'm definitely excited to see if he's going to be working on anything else, but this movie just has a couple of issues. For one, pacing. The pacing of the film is very weird, right? There are some sections where it's like it feels like a horror movie, and then there's some sections that completely take me out of it, primarily whenever they're at the sorority house. Well, mainly when it's like that initial party. I kind of forget that this is a horror movie, and it kind of feels more like like a drama. It's just the tone for sure, and then the pacing for sure is also it's like the biggest issue, because like they introduce a lot in this film, whether it's them talking about the history, the memories, things that we didn't know as viewers. They even touch up, if you haven't seen the movie by now, you can watch it if you want to. If you're not really missing too much, and that's just the truth. We dive into Josh's history a little bit because, as we know, where the second film left off, Dalton and Josh both lost their memories. They both were under hypnosis, and they completely suppressed the memories from the events prior to now. So that left Josh and Dalton both feeling a little foggy. However, I won't lie, I feel like they played more into Josh having memory troubles rather than Dalton. I feel like Dalton has glimpses and things like that, but he almost kind of like taps directly into the further the minute he starts making that painting, right? So I think they could have definitely made that a stronger point in particular, or in regards to Josh. I think the way they handled him going through the history of him finding out who his father was and dealing with, different mental illnesses and stuff like that, that felt so fast. It felt very fucking fast, because we don't really hear one word from the father throughout this entire film. We don't know who he is. We don't even really get like a flashback or nothing. We just get this quick little section where Josh goes to like this library and finds out information on him, and then it cuts directly to him going directly to Renee. And I'm like, with him going to the further, because I think Josh goes to the further twice in this film. There's this one moment where it's like this big jump scare. The dad shows up, chases him around the house, and then knocks him out in the closet. And he only goes to the further literally for like 5 seconds. But I'm like, that could have been the moment to touch up or introduce the idea of who this person could be before we immediately find out who that is. And then within that segment, you definitely could have shown some history and some things and the whole 9 yards, right? So I think that definitely could have been better. I do feel like with everything that we've gotten from this film, it definitely should have been longer. I think it just moves very fast. It just moves very fast when it shouldn't. Like, I would have loved, because I thought because they were bringing back the I think they call him the lipstick face demon. I'm gonna call him Darth Maul or Dark Fowl. Bringing him back, I was expecting to get some history on him, because we don't know who he is. We just know that he's a demon that likes to torment and cause pain and all this different stuff. And it's like, okay, but like, who is he? Like, we don't get no history on him. And it's the same case. He finally gets Dalton's body, which I'm like, oh shit, like he's gonna be causing some havoc in the real world. No, He shows up, throws a girl against the wall, and then proceeds to, he's about to do something with like rope or some shit, wrapping around his fist, and then he immediately disappears. It's like 2 minutes, bro. Are you serious? That kind of sucked. I'm not gonna lie, it just kind of sucked, because out of everything, I don't know, you bring him back, I'm expecting him to be more of a force, but I got more of a force from him in the first movie than I did in this movie, and that's what's unfortunate, you know. Yeah, I feel like this movie should have been longer, because there's a moment towards the end of the film, spoiler alert if you care, there's a moment towards the end of the film where they're trying to shut the door, or like they're keeping the door shut, and it's supposed to be this emotional scene where Josh is getting ready to potentially die, because he's like, I'm gonna hold it off while you get out of here and all that stuff, and that does not work, because like I said, the movie's not, it's not focusing so much on that theme of sacrifice. And there's a note that Josh finds that says this ends with me, and then they, you know, they're supposed to relate it back to here, but you lose that emotional impact when things, because I really think the movie's issue is pacing. Like, for one, there's an argument in the beginning of the film where Dalton and Josh argue because they're not, you know, they're not the closest, or they're not as close as they should have been, and it kind of starts off as a normal conversation, and then it quickly shifts and ramps up very fast, and then Josh calls Dalton a little shit, or an ungrateful little shit, and then that's like he leaves and everything. I'm like, how did that happen? How did that, like, you just offered the frat party, Dalton immediately says, you really don't know anything about me, and then Josh is like, are you kidding me right now? And then, like, what the fuck? Like, what the heck? Like, I feel like they could have actually done more with more emotional scenes, kind of closing the gap to make them closer as a family, rather than using the further and both of them having this ability and both of them having that lost history as a crutch to make them come closer. And I think that's what makes the movie significantly weak, because they should have created more elements to rely on to make it a stronger foundation versus what they went with. So it's unfortunate, you know. I feel like overall the movie should have been better, but in comparison to a lot of the shit I've been fed with some of the movies I've seen, it's really not the worst thing I've seen. It's not, you know, the acting is still nice. I think with some of the directing, some of the shots are actually really fucking cool. Let me see. I'm thinking. My brain's ticking. Brain's ticking. Yeah, I think the characters for the most part are very likable too. Chris, you know, Renee. I still have always felt this way. If you're not gonna do anything with Foster, just write him out of the script. I'm sorry, he just doesn't do anything. Like, you have the second son and he's there, but he is so irrelevant to all of the movies, all of them. The baby has more presence in the movie. I don't even think we saw the baby in this movie like that. Wow, we didn't see the we didn't see the baby really in this movie. The grandma's not at all, you know, obviously the grandma's not there because she passed, but, you know, still, yeah, I don't know. I feel like because this was supposed to be, or the whole idea is for, I would imagine, was for them to become closer as a family. We don't get so many family scenes. We just kind of get a lot of the characters dealing with the stuff on their own, and that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, because people probably would feel as though if you add so much family elements to the film that it can take away from, like, the purpose of the film. And I completely disagree. I feel like adding those moments, the moments that don't seem significant to the film, is what makes it stronger and makes it a lot more impactful and makes the emotional scenes that much stronger, you know? So, with all that being said, if I had to you know, rate this movie on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it a 5. In this day and age, it is definitely an average film. You either get a pretty good film or a pretty rough one, and this one has its issues, but it has a lot of things and charm about it that I really do like. I do really like a lot of the scenes dealing with the further Dalton kind of using his art as, like, kind of like the gateway to, I think, was a pretty smart idea, because I'm obviously, I'm a little biased because I am an artist, but I think using something like art is a pretty secure way of tapping into certain sections in the mind and the emotions and just the body in general that you might not want to tap into, you might be suppressing without you even knowing, things like that. So I think that was very smart. No, I just think overall the movie definitely could have been stronger, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty much how I feel about the film. I cannot wait to see, or if we will ever see Patrick Wilson direct any more films. I would be definitely open to that. I think he has a lot of potential to be a great director, and you know, not everybody has the strongest start, and I think that's perfectly fine. So with all that being said, make sure to check out some of the other videos I have done, some of the other reviews that I have done. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please be patient with the Gojo video. I know it's coming. I promise it's on the way.